Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ty from MasterKicks.com. Today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison between the fake and the authentic Jordan 5 Alternate Bel Air. I only have the authentic on hand. I don't have the fakes on hand. But what I did was I collected some pictures on the internet of the fake ones, and I pinned it against the authentic pair that I picked up from my own local mall. Now here's the thing: like a couple of weeks ago, a bootlegger sent me a fake shoe, so it was a fake Jordan 1 Japan code. So if you watch my videos, if you haven't watched those yet, I'll give you a link or just check the suggestion. But it was easier for me to get the job done because I had both shoes on hand. So this time again, I went back to my old antiquated method of just taking pictures and just going side by side. Now this is rigorous work because it requires me to really pay attention. So I was able to get and find some flaws that I'm going to be showing you this morning. But first thing I want to do is this. I want to invite you to let's first look at the fakes. There's two types of fakes, okay? There's the first batch, which I'm showing you on my screen right now. This is the first batch. And the first batch is always, I guess, the worst ones. So this is the first one, the first batch of fakes. And they got a lot of things wrong in here. You know, the insoles is wrong. I'll show you that in the once I do the comparison. The box label is wrong. And then you have the newer version, which got a lot of things right. They got the right insoles, they got the right box label, but there's still some things that are wrong here, which I'm going to show you. But again, these guys are always stepping up their game, so it's important to stay updated, because what they do is they watch what we do, they watch our comparison, then they go back to the laboratory and they fix the fake ones. So without further ado, let me jump into the comparison. I know I don't want to waste your time. So the first thing we're going to look at is this is what I wanted to focus on first thing. Let me put my picture here real quick. So here's the thing, like this is the bad fake. You can see the sloppy job on the paint. See the edge of the shark teeth? You see the purple is like bleeding over that. So that's just a bad fake. And if you look at the insole, like the outsole, the indentation here, the indent is not 3D. It's like it's a little crooked. If you look at the authentic, you can kind of see the 3D in there. And then if you look at the foggy bottom, like at the authentic pair, it's like really, really subtle. Here you can see that this is like the big contrast between the foggy bottom here is like black and dark, and there's no distinction on the fake. On the authentic, you can barely see the distinction. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm talking about. See, like the distinction, this is like dark and really black. On the authentic is like subtle. Again, this is a bad fake, so I won't, once you see that, just stay away from it. Now I'm going to show you what happened with a better fake. Now with a better fake, they've done a better job. The 3D is a little bit there, but again, that on the black bottom, you can see again there's like a clear contrast between this portion here and the top portion. On the authentic pair is really subtle. But here's what I noticed on the fake one, on the better fake. The speckles are not really legible on the newer version of fake. You can see it's really like subtle. On the authentic, you can kind of see it's like very clear. You can see the speckles on it. Again, I'm gonna give you a better, bigger picture here. See, you can see the speckles on the authentic. You can clearly see them. On the fake one, they're like in between. They're like in there. They are subtle. Let's go on to the next thing. So the next thing I want to show you is the netting. The netting, like I debated whether to put this on or not, but if you look, okay, a lot of time with the netting, the problem is this: like the holes on the authentic are smaller and thinner, and then the plastic you use on the netting is usually soft. It's really soft. So once you get your shoe, make sure you put your fingers on it. Like this is a soft plastic. I'm putting my hand on it right now. It's very soft plastic, okay, very soft. On the fake one, it's hard. Like if you press on it, it might even break. They use a harder plastic, and you can see the color there is like really different. Okay, but I just wanted you I just wanted to mention that. Make sure once you get your shoes, put your fingers on your plastic. It's going to be very soft when you touch it. Okay, do that when you get your shoes. If it's a hard plastic, return that shoe to the guy who sent it to you. Now the next thing we're going to look at is the bottom here. Now they always make this mistake on the 5s, and I don't know why they can't get it right. The spacing between the edge of the midsole and the screen, the plastic screen here, on the authentic, it's a wider space. On the fake one, is really, it almost feels like the screen is like adjacent to the edge. So this is one thing you want to focus on. I'm going to pick up the shoe and I'm going to show you. Like here, once you get your shoe, like that spacing here, there has to be a space between the screen and the edge. On the Authentic is really short, a very small space, which shows you how they can't get that right for some reason. The more the technology, the better the details, the harder it is for them to like copy it. So that's what you want to do. You want to focus on that. And I'll give you a bigger picture. You can see, look at that, like the spacing here, and look at the spacing here on the fake one. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is, I have another one. Again, on the better fake, I just showed you this one, so we're not going to waste too much time on that. So let's go up to the, I'm going to show you something else here. We're going to go to the back. Okay, this is the back. Again, the back of the shoe, right? Now, if you look at the Jumpman on this picture, the front leg of the Jumpman is shorter. You see how shorter this front leg is? Like if I drew like some diagonal line to show you. Look, on the Authentic, they're almost like the same length. On the fake one, shorter here. You can see that. And then you can see that you can barely see the foot itself is like small, very small. And the Jumpman itself has like some nuances. You can actually see the stitching on the Jumpman here. On the stitching here is really hard to see. I'm going to give you a better, closer look at it. You can see like shorter front leg, the front leg here, those two legs are like the same. And here, the front leg is like smaller. And let's go on to the next thing. I don't want to miss anything. I'm making sure that I'm covering all the bases here. Okay, let's go to the tongue. Tongue is always a big problem. All right. Now, if you look on the Authentic pair, there's like double lines that are like the contour, the Jumpman. On the Authentic, those double lines are like subtle. On the fake one, they are very, very apparent. You can kind of see it. You can see the definition there. And then the fingers on the Jumpman are barely seen here. Okay, and the tongue as well. Like the tongue on the fake one is usually shorter. That happens to a lot of fakes. They get a short tongue, and I'm gonna give you a better, closer picture. You can see that. Okay, pay attention. The contour here, see, subtle line, more apparent here. Fingers can be seen. Fingers here are like seen. So focus on that. I'm gonna show you another picture of the tongue on the green one. Now here again, you can see the same thing. Stitching here is that you can kind of see the stitching. You can see everything. It's very clear. You don't have to look too deep. All right. And then this area is really subtle. Here you can kind of see the definition and everything. And then there's a bump here at the bottom of the Jumpman. Fingers can't be seen. Fingers are like blurry. Here you can see the fingers. Even though it's still not that very good, you can still see the fingers. And then if you look at the outside of the tongue, I mean the tongue liner here, you can kind of see that edge. The liner shows. On here, you don't see the liner. And again, it's a shorter tongue. The next thing we want to look at is, I'm going to look at the box label now. This is important to look at the box label, okay? Let's look at the box label. I'm going to start with a fake one. And the fake label, now look, the bad fake has the completely worst label. Okay, don't even waste your time. You see this label, stay away from it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. All right, you can see this is like the fake label. I don't want to spend too much time on it. You know how to tell this is the Authentic. Now let's go on to the better fake that they came up with. Now the better fake, the label is the same, but you can't read the print. Like the fonts or the letters, completely illegible. You can't read it. I mean, I'll give you a closer look. You can't read what it's written over there. White, called purple. You can barely read it. Over here is very clear on the Authentic. And then they got the wrong color codes. They have like blanc, cool, violet, and then they got it all messed up over here. Even the print here is like totally wrong. And then there's something else on the label that I wanted to show you, which I'm going to show you now on here. Actually, now I've already seen this picture. Let's go to this one here. Like on the Authentic pair, right? The box label has the MSRP. This is the manufacturer suggested retail price is $190, and this you can actually tear that up on your shoe. On the fake one, it's $200, and it says US dollars. It doesn't even say MSRP, so they got that. If you see that, just stay away from it. I'm gonna show it to you on my box in a minute. I just wanted to complete this, and then we're gonna jump into a quick summary. Now the next thing I want to show you is this: the insoles. The bad fake has the wrong insoles, which I talked about earlier. See, they have like a white insole with like red Jumpman and green here. So totally, see this thing, stay away from it. Don't even waste your time. Okay? And then the better version of the fake one, they have the right insoles, but you can see if you look close enough, See, this insole have lines here, horizontal lines. You can see this line. You don't see those lines on the fake one. Okay, it's the right insoles, but those lines are nowhere to be seen on the fake pair. Okay, so basically this summarizes everything that you need to know. So with all this information, you'll be able to do your own authentication from home. I'm not even going to talk about the box and everything. So let me give you a quick recap here. So recap, let's do that. Oh, actually I didn't mention this. The authentic pair comes with a green set of laces. Okay, the fake pair that I've seen, the laces are like white, so be careful. If you see that, just stay away. So recap, first thing you want to look at is the shark teeth. Okay, you want to look at the shark teeth over here. Those speckles are very legible on the authentic pair. On the fake pair, you can't see it again. And then this portion here, this bottom portion here, the indentation is 3D on the authentic pair. On the fake pair is like 2D. It's not really, you can't really see it. And the bottom is like the foggy bottom here. There's a clear distinction between this bottom and the top portion on the fake pair. On the authentic is more subtle. And then the 23, the position of the 23, which I don't think I showed you. Oh, I need to do that. Talking about the 23, let me do that. I'm sorry guys. There's another thing I wanted to mention. So let me go back to this and I'll do that. See, that's what happened when I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. Just focus on this picture here. See the 23 on the authentic pair. The 23 is a lot closer to the midsole on the authentic pair than it is on the fake pair. You see the spacing between the 23 and the midsole? This is on the fake pair is wider. And then the 2 and the 3, there's like a gap here on the authentic pair. You don't see that, and the 3 is crooked. Now, that 2 is supposed to be further to the right from this overlay. Right? See how it is on the authentic pair? On the fake pair, it's almost like on top of it. So that's one thing I wanted to mention that I didn't mention, so I apologize for that. But let's go back to the screen again. I'll give you a quick recap like I showed you. Now I didn't even go to the bottom because I didn't notice any differences there, so I'm not gonna waste time on that. Alright? So the thing is the jump man you want to look at on the fake pair. The jump man has a shorter leg on the front, okay? And then you want to look at the tongue and the jump man. You see the stitching here. I'm just giving you a quick recap, but you can go back to the video and just see from the beginning. And then this is the box, the authentic box. And again, I talked about the MSRP, which I'm gonna go bring closer to the camera here. On the authentic pair, it says MSRP is $190. On the fake pair, it's like $200. You can peel that label, and behind it, you will see a chip there. I'm not gonna peel this label because I don't want to destroy it. But you can see, you're gonna see a metal chip there. In it is stored the information of the shoe. But again, the fake pairs, they've come up with new technology, so they know how to do that real quick. So that's not a big deal. But just go back and watch it again. And guys, I just say just be careful, okay? But this is it for today, and I have a lot more stuff on my website that I will invite you to go check. I wrote several articles this week, and I want you to take this survey. It's going to basically help you out to identify what kind of shoes is good for you. And if you want to shop, just go on my website and then hit the shop button. I'll give you a link to that. I'm providing you with authentic sneakers and where to get authentic sneakers. So you can do that for me, and I appreciate it. All right. Again, this is Ty from Master Kicks, and stay tuned for more stuff.